Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to be with you here today in the historical city of Shanghai, a city whose name derives from one of Iceland's absolute favorite topics, namely the sea, and which will indeed be one of the key topics that I will address here today. But firstly, I would like to congratulate the organizers on the successful launch of this interesting forum. The Arctic Circle Assembly and the Arctic Circle Forums have truly established themselves as important venues for open and unimpeded discussions on all matters relating to the Arctic. I also want to thank you for inviting me to share with you some insights into Iceland's priorities during our 2-year chairmanship of the Arctic Council, which we assumed just 3 days ago from our Finnish partners, who very successfully concluded their term at the ministerial meeting in Rovaniemi. Iceland is taking over the chairmanship at a crucial time in Arctic affairs. It is uncontested that temperatures in the Arctic are rising at more than twice the average global rate, and Arctic warming trends are expected to continue towards the mid-century. According to scientists, trends after 2050 will depend on today's mitigating actions. As a fishing nation, Icelanders and Icelandic fisheries companies feel the effects of these developments dramatically, with changes in the migration and availability of fish stocks in our waters. Furthermore, the melting of the sea ice and ocean acidification put the entire marine ecosystems at risk. Adaptation to these changes will be challenging for most communities in the North in the years and decades to come. This makes regional and international cooperation vital, not only for the future of the Arctic region, but also in the global interest. In fact, this is exactly what we feel: a growing global interest in the Arctic, in politics, academia, and business. This increased awareness and importance of the Arctic has created a new reality for us. The interests at stake are high, and we all need to keep our feet firmly on the ground. As developments in the Arctic have global implications, they require global deliberate responses. And these responses must be guided by the fundamental principle of sustainable development, and all decisions based on the state-of-the-art scientific knowledge. The Arctic Council's focus on sustainable development and the scientific work that has been carried out by its subsidiary bodies has yielded important discussions and results on a variety of issues. The Arctic Council has, for instance, increased and broadened our understanding of the Arctic ecosystem and enabled us to make informed decisions on how we approach the region's environment and resources. This is relevant to states outside the Arctic, which may explain growing interest in obtaining observer status in recent years. Ladies and gentlemen, the geostrategic situation in the Arctic has also changed. This reality is reflected in the Arctic Council's international status. The attention that the work of the Council enjoys has increased, and today it is the central body for cooperation in the region. The Arctic region is governed in a cooperative manner, primarily through the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. All the 8 Arctic Council member states support the Convention and have pledged to abide by it. Since UNCLOS provides obligations for all states, not only the Arctic states, this common Arctic approach is also of great importance to the Arctic Council observer states that can participate and contribute to the work of the Council working groups when dealing with these issues. Climate change poses new challenges and makes it increasingly important to ensure that the Arctic remains a low-tension area. While the Arctic Council does not address military security, it is an important venue for dialogue and peaceful cooperation in the Arctic region. Its clear mandate and regional focus on sustainable development and knowledge building has allowed it to continue its work irrespective of global political tensions. Reaching common understandings and solutions while respecting international law which governs the region and maintaining the stability that has so far characterized the region is of interest and benefit to us all. Working closely with all partners, inside as well as outside the region, is vital both for prosperity and security in the Arctic. The conflictual elements that may result from the opening up of the Arctic make the Council's contribution to sustainable development in the region increasingly relevant. In fact, sustainable development may be the single most important element to reduce tensions. In this respect, I truly believe that an active dialogue based on the best available scientific research and knowledge, conducted through dynamic collaboration between our countries and organizations, is the best way forward for a constructive development of the Arctic Council. Iceland will continue to emphasize this during our chairmanship in the Arctic Council, and I'm pleased to note that our approach resonates quite well with the themes that will be discussed here in the next 2 days. The Arctic Council is running numerous ambitious projects, which will continue during our chairmanship. In our priorities, we will highlight certain aspects of the Council's already ambitious agenda, as well as introducing new fields of cooperation through specific projects. As I alluded to earlier, sustainable development will be the guiding light in our chairmanship program and our heading, Together Towards a Sustainable Arctic, emphasizes the need for harmonized international efforts. Moreover, we highlight the need for a holistic approach to sustainable development, addressing equally each of its 3 pillars, the environment, the economy, as well as the social aspects. In our chairmanship program, we have highlighted 4 main priority areas. First, and not entirely surprisingly, the Arctic marine environment. The oceans will figure at the heart of our program. The largest part of the Arctic region is covered by the ocean, and the welfare of a large part of the population in the Arctic is based on the sustainable utilization of marine resources. The Arctic Council's subsidiary bodies have carried out many important ocean-related projects, and Iceland will focus on continuation and further development of projects in that field. Iceland is particularly interested in strengthening Arctic Council cooperation on mitigating plastic pollution of the oceans, and is planning an international scientific conference on the topic in Reykjavik in April 2020. Iceland also wants to introduce a new project focusing on innovation and efficient utilization of marine biological resources, or the so-called blue bioeconomy. Experience has shown that through innovation and biotechnological solutions, it is possible to increase significantly the utilization level of biomass taken out of the ocean. Through successful application of the method, it provides for positive outcomes for the environment. It strengthens the economy and has positive effect in the communities. Our second priority concerns climate and green energy solutions. We will maintain the emphasis on meteorological cooperation. In that respect, I would like to mention explicitly a project on mapping glaciers and providing more accurate information on the dramatic glacial reduction being witnessed in our part of the world. The impending shift in energy sources from fossil fuels to renewable energy will be important, both for reducing greenhouse gas emissions and for improving air quality in the Arctic communities. Iceland aims for further work to be carried out, continuing to seek practical green energy solutions, focusing specifically on small communities in the Arctic. Our third main priority will be to support Arctic societies in building prosperous and sustainable communities. The Arctic Council has a strong record of promoting sustainable development and growth in the region. In the coming decades, adapting to continuous warming of the Arctic will be a major challenge for many of the small Arctic communities, not least indigenous people, and we wish to continue cooperation on matters like gender equality, connectivity, and adaptation and resilience. Last but not least, Iceland will continue to work for a stronger Arctic Council and give due attention to the inner workings of the Arctic Council by maintaining the close consultation between member states and permanent participants. Another part of our strategy for strengthening the Arctic Council is the formation of new partnerships. The Arctic Economic Council will celebrate its 5-year anniversary during Iceland's chairmanship, and we plan to seize the opportunity to enhance the collaboration between the two councils. Moreover, we will continue to use innovative ways to engage with observers in an enhanced manner. A key for success in that respect is that observers are able to contribute to the projects of the Arctic Council in a meaningful way. Ladies and gentlemen, there are indeed challenging times ahead and major issues that need international efforts to be resolved in a successful manner. I am optimistic that we will succeed if we are guided by the principles of sustainable development and scientific research. The future of the Arctic can be bright as a sunny day at the sea. Thank you very much.